Welcome back to What's Up Aboard TV and What's Up Aboard the podcast. My name is Wardy Ward, and I'm the host of this self-help podcast that offers everyday heroes like yourself a safe forum to share your story. And our motto on this platform is everybody has a story to tell, but we just want to know what's yours. From our exciting guests, my research, and everything else, you can always hear stories of love, life, relationships, and everything in between. Remember to hit that like, follow, subscribe button. That helps us to help you help each other. And sharing is always free 99. So tell a friend if you heard something that you like, please. Well, our guest today is no exception to this rule. This highly educated professional woman is a mother of two beautiful daughters, a world traveler, and a self-professed mom boss. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Miss Tyrah Freeman to the labs. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Ward?
Hey, I'm delicious, but this show is all about you. So, in your own words, Tyra? Is it Tyra or Love Tyra? Which one do you prefer?
It depends because
Mm,
people just can't pronounce my name right sometimes. So I go by
mhm.
Tyra, but
I'm gonna
either
call
is
it
fine.
Tyra. Now, it's not Tyra like Tyra Banks, because she's like Tyra or something.
RA. Mine got a little spice on it.
Yeah, yours is spell yours for us.
Tyrah.
Tyra, I like that. I think you're the only one I know. Do you get the little squiggly line every time you type an email?
Yeah, of course.
No. Wonderful. Okay. Okay, Tyra. In your own words, tell the listening audience who is Tyra? This is your 30-second elevator speech.
Ooh, well, you kind of explained me or described me pretty well.
All right.
But
All right. Yeah.
yeah, I am a mother first. I'm a woman of
Mhm.
God. Tyra is just a big ball of joy and just 26-year-old, well, almost 27-year-old woman just trying to do it right. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. We can live with that. So, where did you grow up at? What city? What city were you born at?
I was born here in Indianapolis.
Okay. Still here.
Mhm.
Single parent household, dual.
Yes. I grew up, it was kind of odd. I grew up in a single parent household. But my parents somewhat tried to co-parent, so there were times where I didn't see my dad, but it
Okay.
was most of the time it was single parent with my mother.
Okay. Did did that kind of affect you at all? Just not living with both of them at the same time? Two
Ooh,
different parenting styles there?
definitely. When I was with my mom, my mom was trying to do make ends meet, make sure that me and my sister, I have a younger sister who's 7 years apart from me. So she just tried to do everything she could to make sure that we were good. But my dad, he was married. So
Oh,
it was a little different. I had a lot of different rules at dad's house than I did at mom. So it was real different.
wait a minute. So you said dad was married
hmm
when you were born, you said?
No, my
Oh,
dad
okay.
got married.
Okay.
Yeah, when my mom and dad split, he got married like maybe like a year later or so, year or two. Because
Okay.
I was like 2 years old when he got married.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say two or three. I was 2 or 3 when he got married, and he's still married. So, I would go to this household with my dad and be, with my dad and my stepmom, and then I'll come home and primarily be with my mom, who was a single mother. So
Okay.
that's
All
pretty
right.
much how life was.
Did you get along with your stepmother?
Oh God.
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, moving on. I know blended families can always be a challenge because I've heard that it was saying that if a man marries a woman with a kid, that
hmm
becomes their kids, and if a woman marries a man with a kid, then that's
hmm
him and his ex-wife kid. So that's why
hmm
I asked did you and the stepmother get along because blended
Yeah,
families.
yeah, we it's getting better maybe one
Mhm.
day in life. Um,
Yes.
but as a kid, I was always team mom, my mom. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, if that for lack of better words, I was always team my mother. So I would of course go over there and be respectful.
Hmm.
And I was taught to be respectful to my stepmom at all times, unless yeah. But
Yep.
for
See,
the most part, if it ever was a situation that I felt wasn't respectful, I just always told my mom and she would handle things. So, or
ooh,
my dad.
ooh,
And my mom and
very
dad
safe.
would handle that. So as I got older, I became, I'm an adult. So I was able to verbalize how I felt and didn't have to bring my mom into the situation. So it kind of made things more stretched out because now I'm grown and I can tell you how
Mhm.
I feel. So
Oh, can you give us just a little bit of like what kind of problems did y'all possibly have? I mean, you seem
yeah.
like a good person. I mean, I can imagine you doing anything wrong. I mean, you look so innocent. I almost said Halo.
Oh, thank you. Well, I would say kind of how you said it. So my stepmom and dad, they both, when they got married, they both came in with one child. So my stepmom had an older son, so she had one son, which is my stepbrother, and we're about 2 years apart. And then my dad came in with me because I'm his first child.
Okay.
So it
Okay.
was one of those things where, you know, my mom and her didn't really get along. So when I came over, it was always, I'm hearing what she might be saying about my mom, and then I'm going home
Oh.
and I'm telling my mom. And
Hmm.
then it was like that. So I grew
Okay.
up like hearing, and it was kind of like a pull and tug all the time with my dad. So it was a mess, but
Mm.
but God.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Yes. Yeah. I thank you for sharing that because I know
mhm.
it's challenging, because I went through
Yeah.
the blended family thing, and
Mm.
boy, yeah, I'm just
Mm.
gonna say therapy works. I'm just gonna say that.
Therapy, yes, therapy is good.
Hmm. Yeah. Have you ever been to therapy before?
I have twice. I've had a
Okay.
therapist in two different times in my life. So it was
Okay.
very
Yeah.
beneficial. I would get a therapist again.
Yeah. Yeah. Do they really give you tools to work? They're like, I pretty much did a therapy on Instagram and
Mhm.
stuff, but so the real deal,
Mm.
really, they really just work with you and just get you right.
They do. My first therapist, shout out to Carrie.
Okay.
Um, my first therapist was more of a whip me in a shape type of therapist.
Mm.
She was amazing, and she helped me just kind of unravel a lot of things, childhood things, especially growing up in the two different
Yeah. Yeah.
households. She really helped me kind of understand like why I was doing some of the things I was doing as a
Mm.
teenager, as an adult. It's in certain areas, she just helped me see what
Mm.
you're doing. But she helped me just kind of unravel those things. And then when I was pregnant with my second daughter, I had another therapist. Shout out to Amber.
Hey,
Um,
Amber.
and she helped me a lot too. But she was more of like a mellow, I'm not gonna tell
Hmm.
you what to do, like type of therapist. And I needed that at that moment.
Yeah.
So I had both of them at the right times. I needed a whip in
Okay.
the shape therapist, and then I needed
How
yeah.
did you find a therapist? How do you get one at?
Um, I my first therapist, I think I found her just doing research.
Okay.
My second one was through my doctor. I had just
Okay.
asked my doctor because she was more of like a prenatal type of therapist. So I had her for a little short time. But I have been seeking on I want to say it's BetterHelp. I've tried
Mhm.
that before, and I was going to start with another therapist, but that's when I started doing self therapy via Instagram
Oh
and
yeah.
a little bit
Oh yeah.
of
That's.
a lot of prayer, a lot of Bible,
Hmm.
and it was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. That does work. That does work. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that.
Mm-hmm. You're
So
welcome.
are you married, single, dating? What's your status?
I am single, never married. I would say I'm dating. Dating myself. I
Hmm.
am dating people. And
Okay.
when I say
Okay.
dating, I mean I casually go out with, one really, really one person because I don't like people very much at times.
Really?
It's hard. If I like a person, so I don't
Yeah.
like to. have like all these different people. That's my struggle. So I
Right.
will get stuck with like this one, and they may have others that they're dating. I don't know.
You okay with that?
But when we're not in a relationship, I mean, if you're trying to figure things out, trying to figure out, you know, who's for you and who's not, I mean, in my adult years now, I feel like that's really the only way you can really figure out what you like. I personally feel like we need that time in our lives to really date and
Hmm.
go out with this person, you know, hang out, talk to different people. So that way, you know, when it's time to just sit down, you know what you're looking for, you know what you like, what you don't like. So I don't think it's a problem. But we need clear boundaries. Let me know.
Exactly. I like
Let me
that.
know now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true because you could be with a group of friends and then people introduce
Hmm.
you. That's when you find out your relationship status. They're like, hey, this
That's
is
it.
Bob. He's my Bob. Like, yeah, what am I? He's my
Mm.
boy.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's yeah. So I know that you said you had two kids, and is
Hmm.
it the dad still in their lives? The kids, father, is
Yep,
he
he
still active?
is. He is.
Okay.
He's a very active dad. Very active in their lives.
Okay. Same kid, same father, both kids.
Hmm. Yep.
Now, I asked that because I watch a lot of Kevin Samuels videos, and he talks a
Hmm.
lot about single moms and different things, and he gets a bad
Hmm.
rap, but I think in the day, I think he does get some good points. What he
Hmm.
did on 11, as they say, rest in peace. But
I know.
he talked about single mothers. He said he thinks it's better if you have kids with somebody that you work it out with the father. So
Mm.
I asked, did you and him break up because of things you were going through, or what caused his demise at such a young age, the
Mm-hmm.
kids and so forth? I asked, how'd you get to that point?
Sure. So with our first child, we broke up after I delivered her about a couple months later. We had a very sticky situation.
Ooh,
And
ooh.
it was on me. It was 100% on me.
You the problem?
It was me.
Mm. Give me
It
your
was
halo back.
me. It was me. But it
Halo
was
back
just
is
that's gonna be that story is something that's gonna be in a book for sure. But it was just to kind of sum it up, it was one of those things where I was a college girl
uh-huh.
that just wasn't honest. Period. I should have been honest 100% with the father of my kids. But because I love him, you know,
So
and
he
I
left you,
just
is what you're saying.
yeah, he broke up with me real quick.
Okay, okay, okay. And he was the
But
love of your life too.
I don't know. Only time can tell. I mean, we have another kid a couple years later. We done got another one. So
So y'all
I
worked it out.
mean,
Okay.
we that story too. That was a sticky situation too. But
Yeah.
but he's an awesome dad though to them, and we're still, you know, we're still really cool, and it's gotten better. It used to be a situation where we couldn't even sit in the same room together. We were,
Dang.
yeah, it was bad. But we somehow were always able to mask that in front of our daughter.
Oh,
So
good,
we
good.
could
Yeah.
literally, I remember her first birthday, my Lord, like we pretended real good in front of everybody that we were good. And our friends and stuff that came, they knew like y'all don't like each other at all. But we pretended because one of our biggest things is we would never, because we both had childhoods kind of similar when it came to our parents. So we
Oh,
just,
okay.
yeah, our parents have feuded in our childhoods. So his mom and dad and then my mom and dad, like it was kind of similar. So we just really made that vow that with our children, we will never do that. As
Hmm.
much as we can, we won't do that.
Right.
So in front of them, no. Behind closed doors, different. But now it's gotten way better than what it used to be. So I'm very grateful and I hope it continues to be that way.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's very mature of you to say
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask this too. Is marriage something that you want to do again in the future? I mean, not that you got married, but I
I'm
know I'm
not.
figuring you and him going down the road. That's something that's the goal for you, because I know a lot of women don't
Mhm.
necessarily want to do that.
You know, for a while I was against marriage. I was.
Mm.
But I'm young, and at that time I was younger, but it was based off of the marriages that I saw. And so I just was like,
Oh, good point.
no. I was like, nope. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I'll just be single for the rest of my life. I think that'll be great. But now, as I'm starting to just learn myself and be surrounded by other marriages that are actually positive and are
Hmm.
thriving, I 100% see myself in a marriage. 100%. I definitely was put on this earth to be a wife for sure. One day.
Yeah. What are you doing to prepare for marriage? How are you preparing yourself for that?
Currently I am really just starting to get to know myself, and I've done this thing where I sat back and I asked God to show me what I did wrong in a
Hmm.
relationship. Like, what did I do that could have been better? So that I don't do that again. Or how can I be that woman that you need me to be for this man that you need me to be the woman for? Like,
Hmm.
what is it? So I really, I talk to God. That's really my number one thing. I talk to him and I ask for guidance. When it comes to dating, I date with intentions now. So I tell people, like, listen, I want to be married. I'm not asking you to be my husband today, but if you're going to come into my life and not want to work towards that eventually, or we're not going to date in that area to go towards that, don't even waste my time. I have two kids. I don't have time for that. So,
Yeah.
um, so that's pretty much what I've been doing. And then career wise, like I just feel like I've been putting myself in position so that I can handle my own and bring something to the table as well. I would never
Ooh.
want to be one of those women that's just like a pick me, like pick me to fix me. Like, no,
Hmm.
we coming together to be a team, not for us one person to just pour and pour and pour and pour. Let's pour together. Let's make this money. Be happy.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah. Well,
mhm.
speaking of that money, would there be a situation where it'd be your account, his account, or is it just gonna be y'all money?
I believe in yours, mine, and ours. There should be three
Interesting.
accounts.
Wow.
Because my
Mm.
money is my money. Okay. And what
Mm.
I do with
Mm.
my money, that's none of your business. What you
What?
have, your money is your money. If you want to go buy a boat tomorrow, make sure our money and our household is okay. But if that's a decision that you make, that's not my money to worry about. But don't come to me later saying, hey, baby, I need, 10K because I didn't spend my money on a boat. Oh, no, no, no. Go sell your boat because that's your money.
Oh.
So, and then I
Mm.
also just based off of what I saw in my life, growing up, I don't know. You know what? I think my mom will be okay with me sharing this.
Yeah, she don't care.
Yeah, honestly, I think she would be okay with it because it's a good testimony, especially for her and just curious. So, just seeing my mom's um, previous marriage,
Hmm.
it really showed me that it's very important to make sure that you always have your own, no matter what he says, no matter how good he is to you. And my dad preaches this to me as well. And, that's another marriage that he just definitely preaches that to me 100%. Make sure you always have your own, because at the end of the day, you'll never want to come into a marriage where he like, oh, I'm gonna take care of you. You quit your job, you ain't gotta save, and then a couple years later, he's like, you're lazy, and I don't want to be with you. I'm leaving. Now you have nothing.
True.
So I will never, by the grace of God, will never put myself in a situation. So
Ooh,
no, I've
interesting.
seen
That's an
it
interesting
personally. Yeah,
perspective.
I've seen it personally, hands like front row seats. I've seen
Yeah.
that happen. And I'd never want to be in that position. So, and I don't want
Yeah.
my spouse to be in that position because I don't want you to come in here thinking that I'm gonna carry you all the time.
Hmm.
And if you got sick, that's another thing. If you got sick, I feel like I should be able to have something to be able to help you if you can't work this week. You can't, you like something's really wrong and you don't have the money or the job to go get what you're supposed to get done.
Mhm.
So, and vice versa. So I just, yours, mine, ours.
So if it's yours, mine, and ours, would your
Mhm.
spouse have access to all the accounts?
Oh no.
He, so he can't know what's in there. Wow, are you getting a prenup
We
too?
can talk. We can talk about it for sure. Listen, I've thought about that for
Oh,
sure.
wow.
Because what I work, I really believe, I believe in prenups. I do because
Hmm.
if I worked hard, say, you know what, I am working on, something special, and it's like if that becomes by the grace of God, that becomes this big, awesome thing. That's what I worked hard for. That's something
Hmm.
I did with no assistance because it was done in this phase of my life where it's just me and my kids. So my kids will have access to it 100%. But my spouse, no. We'll talk
Interesting.
about it. We can talk about it. I don't mind sharing what I have, like, and letting them know, like, yeah, we good. I'm good over here. We got this going on, but you don't need to know what's all in my account. And I don't care to know what's all in yours. As long as our account is okay,
Hmm.
we're good. That's just how I
But
feel.
the two are coming together to make one.
That is true.
That's
I'm
interesting. I
just
mean, I'm just thinking, every 7 years you change. The way you are
mm-hmm.
now, you're 26 and a half now. So 7 years from now, you may have a different perspective because,
I might.
yeah, everybody changes. There's nothing wrong with change. You might stay the same.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I think
Hmm.
it seems like I think we base our future a lot of times off what we went through in the past. But then
Mm-hmm.
again, if you meet the right guy,
Mm-hmm.
and you, as they say, a real man or real woman, you meet one of them and he says, "Hey, you know what? Let's do this. Let's combine this money and let's make it happen." And
Mm-hmm.
he shows you that he's a leader and he's got his stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
You might look at it differently because,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, we've seen some things in the past that make you not want to do it. But I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I guess I just feel some type of way because who do you think comes first in the relationship, the kids or the spouse? Hmm.
What?
Yeah, getting deep on you now.
Oh man. This was asked. I was asked this before. Well, first is God, of course.
Yes, yeah,
Um,
right.
in a
God, then
marriage, in a
yes,
marriage,
a marriage. Hmm.
tough.
We can circle back. We can circle
Because
back to this.
I, in a lot of ways, I feel like I'm kind of split because, of course, you're my husband, you come first in my life, but at the end of the day, I can't replace my babies, and so it's like they will always be number one to me. I
Wow.
will never put a man before my children,
Oh
ever,
my.
ever.
But
But when we're married, I mean, I think that's a discussion we would definitely have. But
mhm,
I feel like there are scenarios when you come first or they come first. If it's a matter of everybody is sick in the house, but me, I'm
yes,
going to go tend to my babies first. Then I'm going to come to you
of course.
because they need me, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I
So
mean,
that, I don't know, that.
I agree with that. I agree with that part of it. But that was a kind of a weighted question that I asked you because when my thing is this, if you don't put your mate first, then
Mm,
your kids grow up and have their own life and move out and
mm-hmm,
get their mate and they move on and they become one with their mate. And then you might
mm,
find yourself with a stranger in the house. You're like, who are you?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Who's your? So it's gonna be
mm-hmm.
slow, but you know.
I think it can be a very, very balanced thing though. Because of course I will always make sure, my mate is okay and I'm
Hmm.
questioning and I believe, they will come first in some scenarios. But
Right, of course. Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't be one of those moms where I'm like, you know what? I'm taking care of these kids. I'm always just kids, 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 and my husband is over here like, well, can I get some love too? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't, I don't think I would ever put my husband, future husband, in that situation. I'm gonna love on all of y'all. And I do know that there are boundaries with your kids, of course, because I
Right.
saw that growing up.
Hmm.
My mom definitely was always team us. She always put us first in a lot of situations until she got married and it
Uh-oh.
started to
Oh.
switch. And we were
Oh.
like, hold on
Yeah.
now. So I think as I get older, and like you said, you know, when I actually get into a relationship and I'm with a leading man, I
Hmm.
will learn like there's a time and a place to make sure your mate is taken care of. He comes first in certain scenarios, or he comes first. Period. Take care of him and make sure those kids are good as well. But I think it'll take some time for me
Yeah. Yeah.
to.
I just want to clarify that question too, because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times when people say that, people misconstrue that to think that they're saying, okay,
Mm-hmm.
my baby gonna need something, I gotta take care of my kids. Yeah, the kids definitely have to come first in that aspect. But when I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about when the kids are older, and then your daughter says, "Hey, mom, I need to borrow like $5,000 because I want to take an
Oh,
underwater basket weaving classes," and then the stepfather's like, "No, I don't think we need to do that." And he, "Mom, you gonna take his side?" I'm thinking at that point you got to say, "Hey,
oh yeah.
I'm a team with him, but you
Mm-hmm.
still are important to me." But that's what I'm trying to say. I don't want to make it seem like we're not
No,
taking care of
right.
the kiddos. Yeah.
Now in that situation, we're gonna discuss that for sure. And that's another one of those yours, mine, our account things because it's like
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely consult with my husband first. Like, hey, baby girl done called, said she needs this, she needs that. Like, you know, what do you
But,
think? What do you
but
think
you
about
got your
that?
own money anyway, so you ain't got to ask him about it no way. You got your
I
own
wouldn't
money.
ask, I just would like seek for like, what do you think about that? You know, but I think I'm really good with my own intuition too. But I would run
Yeah,
it by him too as well because he
that's
might
good.
decide he want to take care of it. You know, I might not have to touch my account. Never know.
Hmm.
But definitely think it's like a communication thing too.
Yeah.
So
So if you're 26 and a half now, make sure you get that half.
yeah.
How old were you when you had your first kid?
I had her when I was 22, 23.
22, that's right.
Yeah, because I'll be 27 next year. So when I was 23.
Okay, well, I thought you were like a teen mom. So 20, you was in your 20s, you had lived a little before
Yeah.
you had kids, so you
Mm-hmm.
was able to do something. So you were probably in
Mm-hmm.
college when you
Yep.
got pregnant.
I had her my senior
Okay.
year of college.
Okay, so you was almost done. So
Oh yes, Lord.
were you
I said, now hold
surprised?
on. Woo, was
Were
I
you-
surprised? Shocked. I was devastated, petrified. Oh, it was definitely a shocker for sure. But she
you
came at
consider
the right time.
okay, you didn't consider
She
dropping out of school, did you? You was like, I'm
nope.
gonna ride this out.
I'm gonna ride it out. I always had it in my mind that I am going to finish. Anything I start, I'm like, no, I'm going to finish that, especially school. And I never really had a hard time in school. My academics and education isn't really one of my like struggles. But having her, both of my girls came in moments and situations where I really needed them.
Okay.
I really did. So it was
Yeah.
it was great.
So I guess they affected your life in a positive way because you
Woo!
the kids we sometimes are more grounded with kids. I know I was.
Yes, I definitely was. I matured very fast.
Hmm.
With honestly, I'd say I matured quicker um, with the second one because now it's two of y'all. So
Now
it's
it's
like
real, real.
it's real. It's real. I think at my first child, I was like, okay, wow, I'm really a mom. Whoa, all right, okay. But it didn't really hit me until like later. And then when I had the second one, I was like, whoa, you are a mom. Like you don't have
Mm,
time to play. Now we make time to play, but it's like your time is very limited. So that's another
mm,
reason why I also date with intentions. I don't have time to waste with people
mm.
or things, or I dedicate my time to what I feel would benefit or would make sense to me. Like I'm not gonna
Right.
just waste my time. So
Got you. That's a good point when you bring about dating. Because
mhm.
if a man dates a woman with kids, her priority will always be the kids, but she will be his priority. So how do you find that those caveats when you're dating? Will you date a guy with no kids, or was it your
Mm.
motto ever in your life? Well, I won't date a dude with kids. I know women go through that phase, and now you
Mm-hmm.
have kids, or do you tell dude up front, or how does that whole
Mm-hmm.
dating thing work? How does it
You
work
know
for you?
what, Ward? That is a great question. And I'm so blessed that I was able to date on that side. So I had a relationship where that person did not have a child, and I will never date a person without children ever again.
Oh,
Because they don't, and I say that because, like you said, my priority was always my daughter, and I had that one child at that time. So he didn't understand a lot of things. He didn't understand the whole
mm-hmm.
co-parenting. He didn't understand kids spill things.
Oh
A
yeah.
toddler is a toddler. You might have a mess today. It's not going to always be perfect. You don't get to sleep all the time. He didn't understand that because he didn't have any children.
Good point.
So that did not work. And I said, you know what? I will never date another person without any children because I need
Hmm.
you to understand what I deal with. And you understand your time is limited, and I can try to make time for you as well, but I need you to know, like, a baby gets sick, and I can't do certain things like on the go,
Hmm.
as you
Yeah.
can because you don't have any kids. So I definitely now, I of course I always it's number one. It's broadcasted that I have children. I have them. I have two. Um,
Two.
and I would tell somebody real quick, I don't hide my children. I have two daughters at that. So it's not going to be an easy road over here.
Hmm.
Enter at your own risk.
Yes. Yeah.
And they're little. So I tell a person, I have a 4-year-old and I have an 8. So I really don't have time. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But
Yeah.
my time is limited. So I make that very
Absolutely.
clear. And I've kind of like casually, well, currently, casually dating. I like a person with a child. Now there is a limit, but there is a limit in my book.
Is it
I
two? Two's the limit?
Two is the limit because
Okay.
I have two. You have 4 or 5 different kids. Respectfully, I'm going to decline.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's just not something I'm willing to deal with. I don't know. But 1 or 2, sure, let's do
Hmm. Hmm.
this.
I will say this. I know a lot of men who didn't have kids who actually married women with kids, and they they
Mm,
they they knew about it. And like I said, you can look back at this video and you may change your mind. Maybe you won't. Maybe you will.
it
But
makes me think.
yeah, the one guy asked that he married a
Mm,
lady. He had no kids, and she
mm,
had 3. And he said,
mm.
you know what? He said, I love her enough that I can set the kids my own. He said, because
Wow.
she makes me feel like a man. She respects me. He said,
Mm,
so whatever issues she got, they my issues, and we're gonna get through it together. And they've been together
mhm.
for like 12 years. The kids are
Oh,
getting
that's
older now, and
beautiful.
yeah.
Hmm.
So just don't. It's almost like reverse discrimination. I'm
Yeah.
just not telling you what to do, but keep in mind that there might be a
Hmm.
good guy out there who don't have kids, and just like, you know
Hmm.
what, he like you for you. He might think you look
Hmm.
like Angela Simmons, and
Come on now.
he's
Hey.
like, hey, what it is.
I'll say
Yeah.
I should have. I won't say because I always say never.
Right.
But I just would need to slowly date, and I need you to really understand.
Hmm.
And I need to know that you understand because I've dealt with that before, and it's like y'all
Right.
just don't be knowing because you don't have
Hmm.
kids. And I used to always say that you have no idea because you're not a father. You have no
Yeah.
idea. You have no
Yeah.
idea. So I think it's also just it depends on the person, 100%.
Right.
You're not gonna come into my life trying to dictate my parenting with or my co-parenting when you're not a parent, especially when you have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh,
That's just like no.
harsh. Harsh. We're
Yeah,
gonna get into
you
that.
can't. Yeah.
We definitely get in that. Now, speaking of co-parenting, does
Hmm.
your I don't know if I should call him ex. I will call him ex. Does your ex have a problem with you bringing other men around his daughter. You know, dudes get all possessed. I don't be bringing no dude around. Why do I say that? All dudes on fucking. Let me edit that.
Oh,
Let me read that. Does your ex have a problem with men being
yeah.
around your daughters?
I wouldn't say he has a problem, but
Oh,
he definitely is very I need to meet them. I need to know who they are.
are you
Like I
serious?
need you shouldn't date or there's a time frame. It's too soon for you to be having them around this person or these like it's too
Mm-mm.
soon. So we used to feud about that quite a bit
Yeah, I
because
definitely
he
would feud about that.
yeah, he felt like it was a respect thing that he should sit down and have a conversation with that individual right
At
off
what
the bat.
point? What?
Just if
So
you feel like you're
dude,
gonna bring them in, I need to meet them.
get your number. So y'all gonna go out and get some coffee.
Mm-hmm.
All three of y'all there. You,
No, it's a situation of if you all are about to start dating and y'all date, and then first off, y'all should be dating for a certain amount of time. Now his views may be different now. I'm not sure. But what I've seen previously, because I was in a relationship, he did not like that I did not introduce my ex to him before he was around
oh,
my daughter.
oh,
He was
oh
like,
my.
no, I should have met him, and that's disrespectful that I don't
Mm-hmm.
know anything about him, whatever. I personally I don't need to meet your people. Like,
Okay.
I don't. I mean,
So
I
you
would
don't meet
trust.
his women.
No, I've never have. I've heard, and my daughter is very verbal, so I've heard names and different things like that. But I've never actually sat down and I'm like, hey, girl, what are your intentions? Like, I've never, and I'm not interested. I'm not interested because I would trust that you wouldn't have a creep or you
Right.
wouldn't put our child in any harm's way. So I, quite frankly, I don't care to have a meetup with your significant other. Unless y'all are about to be married, that's different. Like,
Mm.
of course I would want to know, getting married, great. Who is she? Awesome. But I would learn all that, my child will tell me everything, honestly.
Right. Yeah.
Um, so I don't care to meet your people. I don't think
Hmm.
it's that important.
Yeah. I agree with you 100% on that part
Mm-hmm.
where I'm gonna trust you to be a
Mm-hmm.
responsible parent when you're parenting, just like
Mm-hmm.
you got to trust me being a responsible parent. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but you said when they're getting married, you want to meet them. Is that having to do like when you were dealing with a blended family? Is there something you want to prepare your daughter for, or some ground rules you want to make sure that are set up before that marriage?
Mm-hmm. Of course. And they'll be instilled in my child as well. But I would make it very clear, like I really shouldn't even have to do that. If it's a woman that you pick that you feel is really going to be a great fit to be a stepmother, I really shouldn't even have
Yes.
to say these things. But if I need to, I'll first tell, their father, like, hey, just a heads up, just let her know Leia, because that's one of my daughter's name. Leia has a mother. Okay. Leia has a mother. Leia has a mother. She can't be replaced. Period. And you are now her bonus mom.
I like
So
that.
some things are not your place to do
Mm,
with respect, but in your household, I can't tell you don't correct my child because you're her stepmother. And I would expect you to raise my child, in your household when I'm not there. I would expect you
mm,
to correct her as a young lady. There's some things you might teach her that I may not know to teach her. I don't know.
right, right,
And
right.
I'm okay with that. But there are also some things don't do too much now.
Yeah,
There are some
absolutely.
things, let her father handle that. Don't
Right.
put your hands on my child. Don't do that.
Ah, so
That's
there'll be no disciplining on either new persons with y'all common kid.
You can verbally talk, but I'm here. I'm here. If I'm married, my husband has no no business putting his hands on my kid. That I just don't think
Oh,
you
heck
should
no.
be. You
Oh
think
my.
you should whoop somebody else's
Let me answer your question with a question.
child?
I see your point and raise your three chips and two coconuts. Yeah, I think you should be able to discipline that child because if I can't be having all the responsibility of being a
Mm-hmm.
co-parent with none of the uh I guess benefits of being a parent. Because if you get out of line,
Ooh,
yeah, we're gonna check that. But if you trust, I'm just saying, like we were married. If you
for
trust me,
sure.
you got to understand that. Hey, my first interest is you and protecting that kid. And I'm not beating the
Mm-hmm.
kid or whooping the kid. And first thing is not to whoop them. You want to reason with them, get them to
Right,
get a line.
right.
Then the next step is I just give you a reminder. This can't happen anymore. Okay. And that builds
Mm-hmm.
respect. But I find if you undermine that and the new dude
Mm-hmm.
is there and he can't do nothing, and then he watching kid act like this, and y'all got a common kid in common, and he disciplined his kid wrong, we can't do nothing. Y'all gonna have a problem venture down that line. That's gonna be a problem. Especially if a dude, a good dude. Mm-mm. This is
Well,
oh,
I'll say, I have a daughter, so I really don't think, even if we both had, we're married and me and you have a child together, I don't even see my husband like just, like you said, just beating our child.
right,
I
yeah, I'm
think
not gonna
a
do
lot of
that.
men, from what I've seen, a lot of men let the mom kind of handle the daughter in certain areas when it comes to
Right.
like, physical discipline, unless daddy needs to step in. But, with the son, dad is typically like, nah, but I don't know. That's another thing where maybe that's why I'm not married yet too, because I
Yeah,
am so, I don't know, I'm just very protective over my babies so
I can
much.
understand that.
And, with
Yeah.
their dad, it's like if we're at my house, and me and my husband are together, we're all in this house together. I think those are
Yeah.
just clear boundaries that we would set right up front. I
Hmm.
don't mind you correcting my child. I don't mind it because you're my husband, you're her bonus father. You should be able to discipline her as in correcting her verbally. But I
Right.
don't go around just
Verbally.
whooping
Yeah.
my child. I don't go around whooping her like that, so you're not going to do that. If it's
Yeah.
something that you feel like I have not stepped up to correct her in, talk to me. Like, let's talk
Mhm.
about that. But don't just get up and be like,
Right.
I'm
Oh
about to
yeah.
whoop
Yeah.
you. Like, no, that's what I mean
No,
by you have no business doing that. And
I
that
see
was
your
another
point.
thing. I had a situation with my ex. I had to have a conversation.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Don't you ever, like, we're not even married, first of all. Like,
Yeah.
there's a level in your voice that's a little too high, and I'm right
Oh
here.
my. Oh
I'm right
my.
here. I'm right here.
Yeah.
Especially with us not being married,
Hmm.
you're a boyfriend. So
Wait a minute,
don't.
he was yelling at you?
No,
Oh,
he
he's yelling
tried.
at the door.
He
Oh.
tried. He
Oh,
tried.
okay.
Yeah. So that
Hmm.
was just a situation. It just was so.
Okay, okay. I
Yeah.
don't
It
like to
just
be
was.
yelled at either. So yeah, I definitely can
Mm-mm.
appreciate that. And I think the
Mm-hmm.
perspective, I just want to clarify two things. Number one, I'm not a
Mm-hmm.
relationship expert and I'm not a child care expert. I'm just giving my opinions on it.
Right.
I'm firm on the good dude thing. Some of us
Yes.
guys take the role as being serious. In the Bible, one of my favorite verses, First
Mm-hmm.
Timothy 5:8. And I'm gonna
Mm.
let you look that up if you want to. But that
Take
scripture
note.
lets me know that it's First Timothy 5:8. It helps
Mm-hmm.
me understand that, it's a responsibility to be a good steward with those children, whether yours,
Mm-hmm.
hers, or y'all, or separate, whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
you just don't want to be rude with them, but you also don't want to let a kid run you. You have to understand
Exactly.
there's levels to these things, and kids will
Mm-hmm.
play you. I know I can go to mama if you say no, and I do this and that. And no, I'm definitely team
Mm-hmm.
one. We won. So if it's a problem, we both gonna handle that. Because your kid
Mm-hmm.
ain't got a chance. Like, hey, you know what? What Ward say? Talk to your mother. What he said? Well, let's talk through together. Okay, boom. The kids
Mm-hmm.
learn this ain't gonna work. I'm just gonna go on and just give them some act right because they gonna say the same thing. Exactly. I was a kid before
Exactly.
too. Been there, done
Mm-hmm.
that kind of teacher. So that's just my take on it. And not every guy. You're right. You have to be wise and careful on that because not every guy is
Mm-hmm.
on that level. Some guys
Mm-hmm.
take a while to mature.
Mm-hmm.
You can
I
be 50 years old and
100%
still ain't got
agree.
it right. Yeah.
Listen, honestly, but I 100% agree with that for sure. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. That transitions me to my next point. We're talking about dating. Now, since you have not one, but 2 degrees, you have a bachelor's and a master's, and word on the curve is you think about getting another one. What type of dude do you got to date? Do he got to be like working at NASA? Is he got to be Jeff
Oh.
Bezos? Does he got to, I mean, what we work at?
I just want a man of God who is not stagnant and open to being happy. And you don't have to be this rich man because I'm not rich. I don't expect to have, a man working for NASA. Like that would be nice. But I'm not going seeking, like you have to do this and you have to have 2 degrees. You have to, because school is not for everybody. So
Right.
I don't expect, my spouse to have all these different degrees because I have them. As long as you have a job, a career
Mm,
that you're happy in, and it's keeping you, your bills are paid, this is taken care of, we're wealthy. I don't expect to ever be rich unless God wants that for me, but I'm not a person that's, I want to be rich, I want to be famous and all this stuff. I just want to be wealthy and have enough to live off of, enough to give off of. That's it.
hmm
So if we can just be on that same page, in that same boat, that's good enough for me. I mean, you could be a business owner, a truck driver, whatever floats your boat,
hmm
case manager, whatever works for you, as long as you're happy and you are taking care of business. That's all I ask.
mm.
You're
I
a man
call
of
it
God.
I call it rich broke. I mean, I got enough money for me, but not enough to give everybody some. But if y'all cool, but then again, with you it ain't gonna matter because he got to have his own money for himself anyway. So y'all might just get a duplex and we be married because you got to pay your rent. I'm gonna pay my rent. We see each other on Tuesdays because my money is my money. Your money is But I get
Oh, I don't
admit
know. When it comes to that account stuff, and it might be a fear. It might be a fear of
it's
like,
definitely a fear. I wasn't gonna say it, but it's definitely.
you know what, 100% it is. I just feel like I don't want nobody to take from me. Like I don't want you to take what's mine. That's just not okay. Like, and I don't want to take yours. I don't want you to mooch, and I don't want to mooch.
You're
But
not gonna attract that type of guy.
no,
You're not gonna do
you're not
that.
doing that.
Yeah.
You don't get the door.
Wardy says that fear is an acronym for false evidence appearing real. So
Oh,
we have probably been through some things and we're letting that shape what we're
mm,
basically letting the sins of another man come forth in the next relationship. And this guy's got to work twice as hard to prove that I ain't him. Might be a problem
mm,
for some. I mean, I'm
mm,
just saying it's a lot of good brothers out here who just want a good woman too.
mm-hmm.
So something about something about. Speaking of that, I'm curious. Now, you and your ex, I want to go back to him, circle back 1 second. Can you get him back if you want him?
Oh, word, you
Yeah,
about
I
to
know he's
start some
listening.
problems.
I'm just curious. If you wanted him back, can you get this brother back? We know you messed
Yeah.
up. You honest about it. You
With
human.
with respect, I think that if I turn to him and I say, you know what, I think we should work this out. I would say he would be open to it. I'm not gonna just say, yep, I'm getting back. I ain't even gonna say all that. But I think it is a matter of
You know
if
you can
I
get him
turn
back. Quit front. You know you're gonna run by Victoria's Secretions, get that gear. Come on over. I want to talk to you about
woo!
some stuff.
We don't even
Yeah.
have to get the Victoria's Secret with their dad. That moo
What?
moo get them. Listen,
Wow.
that moo moo. You
Wow.
know what a moo moo is,
That
boy?
grandma. I know. My grandmother had one. She had 12
With the
kids. I
pockets,
know.
with the pocket. Listen,
Pockets girl. Okay. Well,
yeah, he's a moo
I
moo.
just
You don't
curious about
mind.
that. No, I'm just curious about that. Well, my ex, no, it wouldn't happen. If you get 2 moo that's still a no for the moo. How did you know it was time for you and your dude to break up after y'all had the second baby? How did you know it was like this ain't that?
Mhm.
How did you know? Well, I know
Um,
he left you the first time. I'm assuming when y'all
mhm,
got back together. I'm just assuming that you was more in
mhm.
control of things.
Yeah, we actually no, we never got back together. We had worked towards it, but for years, so last 4 now. So, for those years, like we, dated other people, then we bounced back and forth, and then we definitely weren't over each other because now we have a second
Mm,
one. It was definitely a teeter totter, teeter totter, teeter totter for years, and with the second baby, just recently, I feel like I've gotten closer with God 100%. And so I personally just feel like if I am a woman that believes in, God, and I believe that this man created me and that's who I'm gonna answer to, I need a man that is on the same page as me. And I cannot force you to do that. I cannot.
mm,
So that was one of the deal breakers. I started learning, and also with me dating and just, learning different people and what I like, and I that is the kind of man I crave, like a leader. And I
mm.
need to know that you are a leader, and also who is leading you? Who's leading
Hmm.
you?
Good
Because how
point.
are you leading
Yeah.
me if nobody's leading me? So
Facts.
that was one of the deal breakers where, I just shared with him, we are unequally yoked. Like
Mm,
there's no beef, and I don't want it to be any beef. But I'm on a page and I want certain things. I want to grow. I want to elevate. I want multiple streams of incomes. I want to test the waters. I want to I am adventurous. I cannot be with a person that is not on the same page as me. It's just not going to
uh,
work because
I
then,
agree.
we're unhappy, and I don't want you to be unhappy because you're feeling like I'm nagging because I'm always asking you to do stuff as in come to church or don't you wanna do this? Don't you wanna do that? And you feel like nothing is ever good enough because you're
Hmm.
trying certain things to try to make me happy, but nothing you do is gonna ever make me happy because I'm not seeing you be that beautiful flower that I want.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's really where it came. It just came to that point where I just was like, yep, this
It's
is what
time.
I'm
You
it's
know, I tell a lot of people that when they're in a bad relationship, I shouldn't say bad
time.
relationship, a relationship with challenges, I find that
Mm-hmm.
you'll know. And because it's like if you're not on the same page, you get up on
Mm-hmm.
Sunday morning, you say, where you going? I'm going to hear the word. What are you doing? I'm going to go smoke some heroin. Oh, okay. Well, we not on the same page then.
You know, on the
There's going
same
to be a
page.
difference. So I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's
Mm-hmm.
again very mature of you. Very mature of
Yes.
that.
And I'm still growing. I'm not perfect, as you can see.
Mm-hmm. I
I'm
know.
still growing in a lot of areas, but I just, there are some things like when in a relationship, I just refuse to get into a relationship with the
Mm-hmm.
person that, there are some things that are not taken care of. I can't do it. And it is fixable. I have shared that with their dad. It is the things that I am asking, it's
Mm-hmm.
fixable. Like, but it's
Mm-hmm.
just a matter of do you want to fix it? Because I can't do it for you. So
Yeah.
when you're ready, I'm not going to sit around and let 20 years go by because
Right.
everything is on your time. And no, I'm not going to be in a common law marriage. I'm not going to just settle. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I would expect
Yep.
you to do the same thing with me. I feel like a man would definitely pack up and leave. If he just
Oh
with a
yeah.
woman and he will go.
With the
So
quickness.
with
With the
with the
quickness.
quickness. So that's just,
Mm-hmm.
that's where I'm at. But if you fix it, who knows? I don't know.
Well, if you could get your ex to change or know one thing about you, what would it
Mm-hmm.
be? Just one thing you just want to really get him to get the gravity of.
I would want him to know, and I've told him this, like, you are an amazing, I see it. You have so many great qualities. You're an amazing man, in a lot of different ways, but you gotta want it, and you gotta do the work to be that. Pull that healed person out of you
Mm-hmm.
and flourish. That would be one big thing. Flourish. Let them
Flourish.
out. Let them out.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna always. Let me not say that. You don't always have to be a product of your environment. That's what I would say.
I like that. You can go a lot of ways with that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's something to think about there.
Yeah.
I want
Mhm.
to circle back to your education again too.
Mhm.
You have a master's degree.
Mhm.
That's no small feat. Has someone else in your family went to school and got this far?
Nope.
What was your motivation for you to do it and have kids at the same time? Or is it an easy journey?
Honestly,
Maybe I'm just making it bigger. Is it an easy
no, it's
cakewalk?
not easy. I failed in my master program. I failed twice in
Hmm.
two classes. I failed because I tried to. I had just had my daughter. I started my master's program a year after graduating undergrad. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it in a year. Like, yeah, I can do it. I can do it. How? Why? I thought I was gonna be able to do all that. I'm not sure. With a brand new baby or a 1 year old at that time, working full time, trying to do
Hmm.
all that and go to school full time all over again, it was crazy. So I failed twice. And I just contacted my advisor and I was like, you know what, I need a slower pace, 100%. So
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
pushed it out to be a 2 year program, and I graduated last year. So it was not easy, but my motivation was I want to do something nobody else has done. I always say that I want to do something that nobody else has done in my family, and I want to make it clear like it can be done.
Hmm.
Everything I'm doing, traveling with kids, everything I do is just I want to show y'all like it can be done. It's hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Nothing in
definitely.
life is easy.
Nothing.
Like we would all breeze through life. You know, there's nothing in this world that's easy. And if it's easy, I don't want it. I don't want it. I love challenges. So that was my motivation. Now, my master's in healthcare administration, I really got it because nobody else in my family had it. So now I'm like, when I really should have got social work. So because that's my thing.
Yeah.
So I'm working on
Okay. All right. Lifelong student. Um, Two things
that.
you said I want to just dig a little deeper before we get to this final round.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't mention looks when it came to dating. So you just said
Mm-hmm.
you want a God-fearing man who's on the same page with you, who can have his own bank account good. Would you date Kodak Black if he decided he wanted to go to church? Is that an issue for you? I mean, he's a God-fearing man
Word,
now. He got
you
his
are
money
cutting
together.
up.
I'm just curious. I mean, he seemed like a nice
So
brother. Looks don't matter to y'all, right?
I do care about looks. Just I mean, there are certain things I care about. I am big on hygiene. Like your hygiene, I learned like I love a good smelling man. Like, and I
Mm.
love a man that has a skincare routine. My God, that tells me a lot. You care about your body. And that by all means, that is so important to me. So I have to have that is like a big quality. I need you to have your own routine, your own
Hmm.
hygiene routine, like not just the three. I just listened to a podcast about this 3-in-1 body wash. No,
Yeah.
the shampoo, the soap, and all that stuff. Like, no, I
What's wrong
need you.
with that?
I
I
mean,
mean,
like I'm saying, people use you using your same soap on your face and your hair and on your body. Like
and you can clean the car with it too. So
that's
what?
crazy. That is
That's
crazy. But if
smart.
that
That's
works for you, that is crazy. I mean, I just love for a man to have his own routine. I have my own routine with things, take care of your body, your health, like, but with your looks, I love a tall man. I love a tall man. Like, height definitely matters to me. It does.
what
But
what is I don't never
well,
understood
I'm
that.
short. So I am what,
How tall are
5'2",
you?
5'2", 5'3" in the middle.
That's average.
So when I just need my man, my significant other, when I put my heels on, I don't want to look down on you. I just don't want to do that.
You want
Mm-mm.
somebody you can look up to?
I just want to look. Yes, you are my man. Like, let me look up to you, not you looking up to
Wow.
me, because now I'm your
Yeah.
man. No, I want to look up to. I mean, we got a eye level or something. Just so I don't
Says
ever
the
want to look.
woman with multiple degrees. I want to look up to you. And here he is with his GED working at Dairy Queen with his own bank
Listen,
account.
now he ain't gonna be working at Dairy Queen. Now I can't do
You
that one.
say as long as he got his job and got a bank account. I wrote
What
it
are you
down.
gonna?
I
I
wrote it
don't know
down. You
about
say
Dairy
it.
Queen. Now you gotta have a career field. Like we live off of and give off of. If there is, I need you to break it down to me how you are able to live and give with a Dairy Queen income. You know, teach me
That's
something. It
called
might be something I don't know.
absolutely. It's called being an owner.
And see, that's what I mean. Teach me
See,
something. I'm
you just
open to
judged a
know.
man. First of all, a dude with no kids is out. A dude who owns Dairy Queen is out.
I'm
You know
thinking.
what? I think I'm seeing the big picture. I'm understanding why now. I get it. Okay,
I'm
you're
so
racist.
picky.
Racist. Okay, we're gonna move into the final round of this. I didn't even get to ask you about traveling with kids and that whole experience, but we can squeeze this in this final round.
Okay.
Again, you're listening to What's Up Aboard TV and What's Up Aboard the podcast. Please stream us wherever you get your content. We're talking with Miss Tyrah Freeman out of Indianapolis, Indiana. And we're going to go to the second round of this interview, one of my favorite things called Getting to Know You or Rapid Fire Questions. First
Uh-oh.
question is, who has had the biggest influence on your life and why?
Ooh. Who has had the biggest influence on my life and why? Oh
Mm-hmm.
my. Mm.
Kodak Black?
Mm-mm.
I saw you light up when I said his name. I
Yeah,
like
he's definitely
him.
not. Uh-uh. He's funny. Boy, I would say,
Maybe it's yourself.
hmm.
Maybe your own
No,
hero, Shiro.
I feel like I have multiple ones. My mom, in a lot of areas, has been my shero. My grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
in certain areas, in areas that my mom wasn't my shero, my grandma was. In areas that she wasn't, my mentor was. So I have a couple of different sheroes who have been a big influence into my life. So I have a
Okay.
couple.
Okay. Good. Good. If someone was to play you in a movie, who would that actress be? About your life story.
Ooh, who would be my actress? Taraji.
Right. Okay. Yeah, she's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my girl.
All right. Um, have you ever kissed a girl?
Oh,
I have. I ain't gonna lie. I did it.
I have.
Okay.
I have.
Okay.
You didn't say
Um,
who, so
hey,
I
a
can't.
good one. I'm gonna let you wiggle out there. We can give you that. Uh, here's one. One of my listeners told me to ask you this one. Have you ever wore a waist trainer?
Oh yes, I have one. I
Oh,
have an awesome one off Amazon. It's amazing. Don't spend all your money on a waist trainer, but yes, I have worn one. I don't wear it often,
mhm.
all the time. Sometimes now because it's a little uncomfortable, but
Is
it's
it
helped.
one? Is it what's this one zip up deals or?
Oh no. So after having my second daughter, I had a C-section and I couldn't wear those kind of like the zip
Okay.
ups and I always
Yeah.
felt like it didn't get that little stingy piece of back fat. It just didn't get that.
Mm-hmm.
Or that little baby piece in the front. Regular waist trainers couldn't get it. So I have one that's like a long belt. And
Oh
you
my.
step into it and you wrap yourself all the way up and you
Like a
velcro it
mummy.
like a mummy. And
Wow.
you can make it as tight as you want or as loose as you want. I love that flexibility. So I love it.
Okay. So you would recommend the girls wear those, right?
100% because you don't have to worry about the size of your torso. Like the regular ones is they're only made for like either a short torso or you gotta get the double one and it's your torso's too short for it. Like so the belt one it'll get your back fat, it'll get that little mom pooch in the front, it'll get all the right parts in that
Mm-hmm.
belt.
Do you think women are false advertising when they wear makeup or makeup and weave? Are you
Oh,
pro or?
every day? If they're wearing it
Uh,
every day, like the makeup, like a full face of makeup every day.
I'm not sure on the distance. I mean, I don't.
Mm.
I guess I don't. I don't think women really need it. But when should a woman wear that? Tell me that. When should a woman wear a full beat?
Speak on myself. I only wear a full beat when we are getting professional pictures done, or if it's like a special occasion. I don't have time for all that makeup. Like, and I just feel like
Hmm.
it's just caked up in my skin.
Yes,
I
exactly.
I like to a good lash, so a set of lashes and some clear lip gloss. That's all I need. Let my face breathe, and I'll do my eyebrows. That's all I need. But my wigs now, I wear my wigs.
Wig. You wear wigs?
I do. I do.
Interesting. You got the
Got
blind
a
and
couple
all
of
this.
sisters up in my closet.
Okay. That's
Like to switch it up.
now. Are you okay with a guy wearing a piece, a unit? Would that be okay with you?
No.
Wow. So let me get this straight. You won't date a dude with no kids. He has to have his own money, and he can't wear. Let me just move to my next question. What is a boss mom? What does that mean? Mom, boss mom.
Woo!
What
Boss
is that?
mom, she is doing her thing. She hustles. Boss
Mm,
mom is going to hustle by any means necessary. A boss mom is going to make sure it's going to get done. I'm not going to sit around and wait for it to get done. I'm not going to open my hands and expect a handout. One thing about a boss mom, she's going to work. That is a
hmm
boss to me. You don't have to be this super rich, wealthy, crazy, money flowing lady. That would be great. But
hmm
you're a boss in all areas, as in you don't mind going out there to get it on your own.
hmm
I think that is just the most bossiest boss thing ever. Like, you don't
Yeah.
wait for handouts. I'm not a handout
Mm.
lady. I'm
Yeah.
going
Is
to
that what you talk
hustle.
about on your platform on YouTube? Those things you talk about on that?
Mm. No, I talk about a on my YouTube. There's so many things. We will cry, we laugh, we joke, you'll see my kids, you'll see I am a very crafty person.
Hmm
I will do, tutorials and reviews. I love food. I will talk about food. I mean, like my channel is everything. The
Mm.
most like one of the realest channels. Like I don't get on there with all this makeup on. I think my first video, I didn't have any lashes. I had my natural hair out. Like you're gonna
It's
get me
real.
in all just real. You're gonna get me in all aspects. Period. So
Okay. All right. The listener's probably gonna get me if I don't ask this question. Why can't a dude
oh,
wear a unit? Why can't he wear a unit? Why can't he
I'm
do that?
just you know, men can wear a unit. That's just not for me. I'm just not interested
Yeah,
in
not for
being a
you,
man.
for him.
Yeah. No, like I am not interested in a man for me, like wearing a piece. But it could be for somebody else. It's just not for me. Like a man like that, it's like just cut it off. Why do you need a piece? Cut your hair off. If you're missing some pieces, shave it off. I'm gonna help you embrace that bald head. It's okay.
Oh,
But
oh
we're not
my.
gonna be wearing weaves and
So
pieces of
if
hair.
he had braids, is that a deal breaker? So he was bald. Let's say
Oh
because that's what girls do. Because I've been at many jobs. Somebody come out like, "Who's a new girl?" Like, hey, I introduce myself. Like, hey, man, I'm Jenny. I've been next to. Oh, okay.
yeah, my man, I'm not interested in you. I am the only one wearing weave over here. Okay.
Double standards.
Yeah, that's just
Double
not it
standard
for
Tyra.
me.
Okay. 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 I'm gonna live with that. I'm gonna live with that. What type of movies do you like? What's your thing? Like old school, new school? What's a
I
good movie
love
that you?
I love all movies, but I am really into my ethnic movies 100%. I love the
Okay.
black characters.
Okay.
Like I love it. So Love Jones and
Oh yeah, that's a
Play,
good one.
Players Club and
Players Club.
uh Jason's lyric,
That's a
I
good one.
love
Two can play that
what
game.
set it off. I love all those movies. I love all of
Hmm
them. I do step out and I watch other movies. I just started watching action movies. I was not into action movies for a long time. But
Okay.
I was a horror movie person. Like I
Oh
love
no.
scary. Yeah, I
Oh
love
no.
scary movies. Love scary movies.
I
So
can't do that. I see no point in
yeah,
that. Then you got to
love
go to
scary
sleep.
movies.
Then you start hearing knocks at the door. What the
No,
heck?
they didn't bother me. They never bothered me because I always say it's a movie. It's a movie. It's a movie.
Okay.
Now there are some lately. I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know if I'm just getting a little seasoned, but some of these movies coming out, I'm like,
They
I
stepping
need
their
the
game
lights
up.
on a little bit. They getting a
Yeah,
little scary now. So
they stepping
mm-mm,
way up. It's like, okay, we got because
it's
really
getting.
movies compete with TV. So TV had to step their game up. So movies that we got to really step our game up because we got to get you away from TV.
Ooh,
It's a whole back and forth.
yeah, it's
Uh,
getting a little too real for me lately.
my next question is, what's one of the meanest things you've done to a guy to let him know that you ain't that one?
ah, You
Not
gonna
that
make
I.
me be single forever?
Well, but this is in your past. You got growth now. You're like a
Ooh,
flower. Free flower
I
work is
have growth,
blooming.
y'all.
Yeah, we know that. We know this
I
ain't you
have,
now.
ooh,
What did
ooh,
you did?
ooh, I have
Uh-oh.
done
Take
some mean
woosah.
things.
Breathe first. Let it out. Oh my God.
Mm,
Yeah, we
mm.
both better drink to that. Okay. I'm
Listen,
ready. I'm
so
ready.
I think one of the meanest things, it was too real. I told someone that you're not man enough
Mm,
for me. You're just not. And it is what it
okay.
is. And I said it just like that. I don't care. I don't
I
care.
need let's dig a little deeper. What would he not what is that? I'm not man enough. What does that mean?
So that person, they had cheated. And once you cheat in my book, I have lost all respect for you at this point. So you trying to come back, that kind of actually taught, you know what? That's the hardest, the meanest thing I've done. I knew I was done with that person because they cheated. And I let them take me out to dinner, right? I'm sorry on the cake. It was real cute. But I knew in the back of my
Dang.
mind, I'm about to get you together. I don't care no more.
Wow. Oh
So he did
my.
all of that, begged to come back. I was like, you know what? All right. I hit him with a two can play that game when Vivica Fox. Yep, I did one of those. The cute little, and then I told him you can get up and go now. You can go. But
And he
I
was
reeled him
serious.
in. I was so serious, reeled him all in, and then I just bye.
Wow.
I
On
don't
his
care
blue
because
contrail.
you
This
you broke my trust. Don't cheat on me.
so you're
Do
not a
that.
forgiver, I take it. You don't have
I
that forgiveness.
forgive, but what was the reason to
Your
cheat? Like
halo
what was
gone. It just went off. I saw it. It dimmed and fell off.
Boy, what is the reason? Why are we out here cheating? Now I'm not perfect. I done definitely,
You told
but
us. You said earlier that you broke up with y'all broke up because you messed up
I
earlier.
didn't cheat. No, I didn't say I cheated.
Oh, okay.
Truth.
I'm
I
gonna give
didn't
you
tell the
that. You're
truth.
right.
I didn't tell the truth about
Okay.
that.
Okay.
But
I,
well,
I,
I didn't cheat. But I have cheated before. I have. I
mm,
definitely have. I did it. I did it once. Mm,
okay.
but that
Let
was
me
I just didn't care.
let me play devil's advocate on this.
Oh God.
When somebody cheats and asks you for forgiveness, it doesn't mean that they meant to hurt you. Could it mean that they did something wrong? And to be fair, did y'all say, hey, I'm your man, you my girl. I ain't gonna see nobody else. You ain't gonna see nobody else. If you do see somebody else and do this and that, then this is what's gonna happen. Did y'all have that conversation? No,
Yes.
no further questions, Your Honor. What?
We no, with my ex, we definitely had that conversation because I had told
Wow.
him I have been cheated on before. Please don't cheat on me. And I think he just wanted to test the waters. And I am such an investigator. I will
Oh
not
yeah.
present. I'm an invest. I will sit back. I will know you've been cheating for about 5 months. But
And
once I
just
get
keep it.
all, I keep it all together. I hold my facts. And when I get it all together and I got my file together, I'm gonna slap you
Mhm.
with it and I'm gonna say, yeah, we're done. We're done.
Wow. Ooh, that's
I've
just
been watching you for the past 6 months. The feds are coming knocking at your door. I'm the DEA, and we're done.
that is wow.
Yeah, I'm not
Now,
gonna assume. I don't like to assume. I like to have
right,
facts
yeah. When you come over receipts.
all the
That's
time.
that's mean. That's very mean. I'm gonna tell you a new term that I found out with how when police do stuff and they get away with it. They're like, how do you get away
Mhm.
with it? It's a thing called qualified immunity. You can look this up.
Ooh.
Qualified immunity. That means if something they haven't done something like that before, or nobody else has
Mhm.
done it before, then
Mhm.
they get away with it. For example, when the guy nailed on George Floyd's neck for 9 minutes or whatever,
Mhm.
he knew that was wrong. But if somebody else did it for 9 minutes to a guy his same age, then he can't go to jail. But if nobody else did it to a guy who looked like him, same age, you can use qualified immunity in your relationship. If the guy had
Mhm.
never cheated before, didn't know that he was going to really get pushed that far with you, you technically have to forgive him.
No, and
So,
I gave him a warning.
okay, fair enough.
I give
Yeah,
men warnings. I really do. And I think
warning
they
shots.
always think I'm playing. I don't know why y'all want to play. Like, don't do that because I will hurt your feelings. Just don't do that.
Oh, I did not. I'm scared of you. I'm scared of you.
The me
But
now, I'm just gonna get up and go. I don't have time. I used to do some really wild stuff, and I'm just not gonna do that anymore. I don't have. I
I'm
have things
glad.
to lose now. I am a mother
Right.
of two, but back then, thank God for
Boy.
growth.
Man.
Woo,
Touche. Okay. Two more questions
growth.
before we get to the final thing here. We've learned so much about you. And and fellows, we're gonna give you her social media information here later on. So don't think you missed out.
But
Uh,
it's fine over here. It is fine on this side. It's great.
what's the most useless purchase you've ever made?
Oh my God. I got a oh my goodness. I got my fat in my stomach frozen.
What?
That was one of the dumbest
The
decisions.
fat
Like,
in your stomach frozen.
yep. I
I didn't even know
forgot.
that was a thing.
Yeah, it's like a oh my God, I can't think of the actual like term of this. So I went to this place and Ideal, I think it's not even go through Ideal Image. I went to Ideal Image and
Uh-huh.
I had just had my first daughter and my belly was just so like I had never seen my stomach like that. It was all loose and
Yeah.
God. So instead of me just going to the gym, I said,
Hmm.
you know what? Because I'm not getting under the table and getting a BBL. But I said, let's get this little freeze the fat, shrink me down real fast. And I went on the table. It was a little procedure. They measured it out, drew it all on my
Oh,
stomach,
yeah.
and they did this. It literally was a machine that went across me and was freezing the fat in my
Ooh,
belly. It was very uncomfortable.
I bet it was.
But it froze
Ah,
it, and what happened was it basically turns it into like it evaporates. So I would sweat it out, or I would, go to the restroom and it comes out. But I mean, I saw a little progress, but it was a waste of money. That was like $2,000
oh my.
wasted, wasted.
Mm, mm. Wow. I'm
Never
glad
again.
you said that because I don't know. I saw a lot of people do that stuff. It's a big business now.
It's a
So
waste
yeah,
of
what
time.
was the downtime on that? How much work did it miss on that?
I mean, I didn't have any downtime. I was up moving around like in like a day or so. But
Hmm.
it took like almost a year for me to see any type of progress. And then I got too small. Like I did not want to be as skinny as I was. Like ugh. Seeing
Okay.
myself like I was like, oh my God, no. But I don't even blame that for making me shrink that much. I
Mm-hmm.
just was like, I want to lose weight. But that surgery or procedure, waste of money. Never again. Now I
Mm.
would go to the gym for sure.
Okay. Your Planet Fitness is $10 a month. $10.
Listen.
Do you have
Mm-hmm.
any tattoos? Final question. Do you have any tattoos? I don't see anything. You look nice, wholesome girl. There are no tattoos, right? All right,
They're
then we'll
everywhere.
keep it moving.
No,
What?
I have tattoos everywhere.
Oh my God, you're addicted to the
Everywhere.
ink. There's one on your arm.
I
Tell me
am
how many.
addicted.
What
I
you got?
love
What you?
ink.
Well, tell me what was the first one?
So my first tattoo was a tattoo that said Virgo on my back,
Okay.
like right at the top of my back. I
Proud to be a
have
Virgo.
one. Yep. I was just like, ooh, I want a tattoo. And at 16, that was my oh, somebody rang my doorbell. That was my first tattoo. So I wouldn't. Mm-mm. At
You,
16,
you,
my kids would have to explain what they want and why.
mm, yeah, but you would let them get one.
They can at 16. Like I can't be a hypocrite and tell them you can't have a tattoo at 16. Like you can't do this. No, no, no. Because they're gonna be like, you had one at 16, and
Right.
I'm not one of those moms that do as I say and not as I do. Like, no, your kids are gonna
Mm,
do exactly what you do. Like, you
yeah,
have to
that's true.
literally lead by example. So, at 16, you want a tattoo? I need you to explain to me what does this mean and why do you
Gonna
want it?
have it
Because
forever.
a lot of my tattoos I got covered up. I have a couple that were cover ups, or I got them like switched around because they were very immature. And I
That's
was like,
expensive
wow,
and hurts.
why did I get that? It doesn't hurt
Hmm.
me. It doesn't hurt. That's why I have so
I'm
many.
not doing. I'm not doing that. How many would you say you have? How many would you say you have?
um, I was I count my I count one as like one big piece. I don't even break it up. So I would say one, two, three,
Oh
four,
my. Oh
five,
my God. I'm
six, probably
concerned.
about six. Six.
Oh, and you plan on getting more, aren't you?
I
Never
think
mind.
I need like one or two more. Just one or
One
two.
or two. Okay.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
any more kids? Any more kids in your future?
I have one left in me and that's it.
One kid, more
When I get
tattoos.
married, I am open to my husband and I creating a child together. Like I have no problem doing that. 100%.
Okay.
Here you go.
Okay. So one more, a couple more tats, one more kid, and
Mm-hmm.
another master's degree, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, all
And then
right.
we all traveling. We out here.
Yes. Yeah. Dang, I wish we could have talked about that, but we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. But before we wrap this up, please let people know where they can find your social media footprints out there, find out more
Sure.
about who you are.
Yes. So I can be found on Instagram at it's Tyra Monet. That's ITTY or yeah, ITSTYRAHMONET. And then on TikTok, of course, it's what is my name? At the Royal Boss Mom. And then of course on YouTube is at the Royal Boss Mommy. So you can find me on all avenues.
Everywhere, everywhere. Is there
Everywhere.
anything that you want to say, add, or correct, or modify before I say my final thoughts?
No, I'm really not as mean as y'all think.
Well, nobody thinks you're mean.
Crazy. Picky, I'm bad. I'm not that picky. I mean, I just have
you
standards.
you just real. Yeah, you just real with it. You know,
Yeah,
we can
I'm very
respect that.
real, very
Okay.
blunt, very open. That's it.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get my final thoughts, but I do want to thank Ms. Freeman for dropping by the What's Up Aboard TV
Yes.
studios today and sharing her story, where our motto is everybody has a story to tell. We just want to know yours. I'm gonna go ahead and give you my final thoughts, and then we're gonna be out of here. My final thoughts is real simple today. It's sometimes we say and do things to people, and we may feel that we're doing the right thing at that moment, but it could come off as a little nefarious. So when we're playing with people's lives, and sometimes we may give a lie or two, it's like giving a bank loan. When somebody repays you, it may come back with interest. So be careful. Until next time, my name is Woody Ward. Peace.